Hello, everybody. It's Zuzana, and thank you for joining me on this Saturday night. I am talking to you today about apprenticeships in BC, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, about apprenticeships and the Industry Training Authority and why it's important. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen because I've started a PowerPoint presentation that I would like to share with you. And let's see, hang on. Sorry, move this slideshow. Pardon me, still working out the computer mastery of this. Okay, here we go. So we're going to start. So this is today's topic. I think we're going to take about 10 or 15 minutes, and it's all about apprentices in BC. And we're going to talk about what an apprentice is, who is the ITA, the Industry Training Authority, and why do you need to know about them? And if I become an apprentice in a trade, will it lead to a good career? That's always a good question. So first of all, let's start with a little bit about me. So I am the Industry Training Authority Advisor, and my name is Zuzana, and I have a background in, actually I have a master's in anthropology and a bachelor's in psychology, but I actually did a career pivot about 20 years ago and got into being career counseling. And in the past few years, I've worked as a regional employment placement specialist for, it's called the Skilled Trades Employment Program. So I helped people who were starting apprenticeships get connected to employers. And more recently, I started working with the Industry Training Authority as an Industry Training Authority advisor. So advising people about the apprenticeship process and how to maneuver through it. So I think the overall thread in the past 20 years of my career has been just a real passion for helping people succeed in their careers and helping them achieve their career goals. So let's get started. So first of all, can you guys, okay, can you see the text on the screen, or do you see the pictures of yourselves? Because I see your faces. I'm just curious. Can you see my text that says, what is an apprentice?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so I'll just move that over here. So first of all, I'd like to just start by getting you into a room, and I'll give you a minute to discuss what you know about what an apprentice is. And I'd like you to discuss it and then come back and tell me what you've come up with. So let's see if we're gonna, no, okay, how do I do this? Shoot. I'm sorry, how do I get you into breakout rooms? Where'd it go? Okay, that's not working. So let's just, oops, it worked, okay.
Susanna, I'm still here.
Oh, sorry, I'll get you into a breakout room. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. I came in late. No, it's okay.
No worries. Okay, breakout room. Let's get you into join room. No, how do I get you into join? That's not it. Okay, it's not assigned to room 2. There you go. Hi, welcome back. Now everybody else should be coming back.
Hi.
Okay. How do I close this now? Okay. Okay, why isn't everybody else back?
I think we're all here.
Okay, oh good, so I just can't see you. Is everybody back? Yay, okay. So does anybody want to tell me what you came up with for what an apprentice is?
someone learning a trade under a skilled mentor with periods of education and job site experience at the same time.
That's excellent. That's a really round discussion, around definition. Anybody?
Well, somebody that is has the knowledge and they wanted to, they are learning, they're having more experience on the job.
Exactly. Very good. So those are excellent. Shoot. How do I get to the next? Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. Okay, those are excellent. Yes, very good definitions. I'll give you my official definitions. So an apprentice is someone who is working towards becoming a skilled person, and apprentices spend 20% of their time in classroom training. Some of them start with about a 6 to 8 month foundation training, but then they go on the job for a certain amount of hours. Usually it's about a year. Then they go back to classroom training, back on the job, and they do this 3 or 4 times until they finish 4 years. And then they get a certificate of qualifications. So 20% of the time is in the classroom, 80% of the time is actually in practical training. And the great thing about the practical training is they're earning while they're learning. So they're making a wage and learning and then going back to school. So the end goal of becoming an apprentice is to, at the end of 4 years, to get a certificate of qualification, which also people in the trades call a ticket, or it's also called becoming a journeyman. Does anybody know what a journeyman, why that term was created? So I'll tell you, it was interesting. I looked it up. So it actually is a term that started in medieval Germany. And it was when people were doing like blacksmith's work or becoming carpenters, they would go to a small town and they'd study with the local blacksmith or carpenter in that town. And then they would journey to the next town to study with the local practitioner of the craft there, picking up tips and tricks along the way. So they became known as journeymen. And apparently in Germany right now, there's still carpenters that follow that tradition. So I thought that was rather interesting. It's just where that term comes from and how it's still commonly used today. So skilled trades in BC, how many skilled trades do you think there are in BC? Just shout out an answer.
40.
And
40?
no, I would say 50 or 60.
50? Yep, those are a good guess. So the actual number is 100. BC, the Industry Training Authority, has 100 skilled trades that are recognized as programs where you can get the certificate of qualification. There's also 50 red skill trades, and those are trades that are the qualifications and the standards are consistent across Canada. So if somebody gets a red seal ticket in BC, they can go work in Nova Scotia or anywhere across Canada and their credentials will be recognized. So some examples of skilled trades in BC, I just created a list for you. There's arborist, bricklayer, cook, embalmer, funeral director, hairstylist, heavy equipment operator, meat cutter, metal fabricator, plumber, refrigeration mechanic, sheet metal worker, tile setter, etc. So if you wanted to take a look at the extensive list of 100 skilled trades in BC, you could take a look at this website on the bottom, ITABC. It's a wonderful resource that has all the trades listed and the different things that you have to achieve for each level. So the Industry Training Authority, who are they and what do they do? So they are the official organization in BC. It's funded by a ministry, and they're the ones who issue all the credentials for the trades in BC. They set program standards for the education institutions. They keep all the student transcripts that are working through apprenticeship in BC. They administer the final exams to get your certificate of qualification. And they also register employer sponsors. Now, what that means is that when a person gets a job and wants to become an apprentice, the employer has to send a form into the Industry Training Authority saying that they have indentured that person to the organization and they become sponsored by that employer. So they're getting hours tracked while they're working for that employer sponsored. So I thought it was interesting that the bottom line is if you want to be an apprentice in BC, you have to be registered with the Industry Training Authority. I liken it to like if you want to have your car insured in BC, you have to be insured with ICBC. So
Mhm.
organization that tracks and keeps tabs of all of those things. Now, is being a tradesperson a good career choice? So take a look at this cartoon. It's a little bit of a cheeky cartoon, pun intended. I bring it up because there is a stigma, there was a stigma, it's luckily starting to change around the trades. In the past, trades careers were considered a fallback career or something to do for something people that weren't on the academic track were to do. Were considered dirty jobs, not as intellectually challenging, somebody who couldn't make it in real school. And sort of working with the hands was considered less desirable than sort of intellectual, maybe more white collar pursuits. And luckily, I'm finding that a lot of that is changing. For example, trades careers are now being found to have the same benefits as a university degree,
Mhm.
high cost of going to school for 4 years or for 8 years or so on if you want to be a PhD. And they can also lead to employment in a relevant field much more quickly. And the other thing that's really interesting about trades careers is they're becoming more tech centric. For example, technology is changing the required skill sets, things like drones, iPads, iPhones, robotics, all sorts of computer technology is making their way into the trades. And people are having to have those skills like math skills, computer skills, a lot of other essential skills. They need those for the trades now. So the prestige of the trades is going up over the years. I'll tell you a little bit about what I found in my job as a skilled trades employment specialist. I've seen a number of people coming in that are looking at trades careers after they had a bachelor's degree and have maybe got a bachelor in arts or social sciences and have struggled to find work. And then they discovered that they had a knack to use their hands in a certain field. So they've come in and decided that they're going to pursue a trades ticket. And I've also seen mid-career professionals. There's one fellow who was in information technology and was tired of sitting at the desk all day and really loved to renovate his basement. So decided at 45 that he was going to switch careers and start pursuing his carpentry ticket. So the future of trades in Canada actually looks really good. There's been, in BC, there's a projected skills shortage. So BC's construction industry, for example, is expected to grow by 16,000 over the next 7 years. And there's about 45,000 people that are starting to retire out of the industry. So there's a lot of potential jobs to fill. Also, the wages in the skilled trades are really good. Entry level can be between $15 to $20 an hour. And that's why while people are still learning how to become a tradesperson. And then a ticketed journey person can get between $30 and $40 an hour. And some people start their own business. And I actually talked to a mason a few months ago who started his own. So mason is bricklaying. He started his own business and he was making $80 an hour running his own business. And lastly, there's a variety of job paths. As people, what they say, on the tools, and when they start in the trades, they're doing very hands-on work on the tools. But as they progress, there's a number of opportunities that they can move into. For example, upper management, getting into project management work, procurement, becoming a trainer. Many people go on to a higher education in getting a degree in engineering or science. They also can get into safety or inspection, or like I said, they can start their own business. So to summarize, here's what we've learned today. So an apprentice is someone who's in a progression through in class and on the job training to get a certificate of qualification or a ticket or to become a journey person. The Industry Training Authority is the one in BC that tracks and registers all the apprenticeships, administers the final exams, among other things. And lastly, trades are losing the stigma of the past and are becoming a good choice for future career opportunities. So I wanted to pose a question to you before we close up here. Does anybody in our group do they know of anybody who's in the trades, and how is that job going for them?
I'm gonna jump in and say my I would like to share this. I attended a seminar once about women in the trades, and it was very fascinating to hear their stories of how they became, one of them became a Red Seal electrician. And she says, like, I have like a master's in some sort of science, and I couldn't like put food on the table for my kids. And then within like the moment I started, I actually could bring in more money than I would have ever done with my degree. And I found that fascinating. I found that it's it's a program that's being opened on both sides, like for men. I think it's been mainly targeted for men, but lately it's been opening for women as well, that this is a path that they could pursue. And I find that to be very interesting. Sort of,
Yes.
I'm like looking, I'm going to go on the website and like, let me see if I,
Doesn't
if I,
doesn't BCAT have a women's and trades entry program?
Yes, most of the colleges, there are many colleges across BC that do have a women in trades training program where women can get some of their tuition paid for. And there's also BC Women in Trades Training Network on Facebook. There's organizations that do provide mentorship and scholarships for women because they are trying to promote, like right now, there's only about 6% of the trades are female. So there's still a lot of room to grow, but definitely it's becoming more common.
My husband is a tradesman, and actually one of my best friends is a tradesman. So my husband is an HVAC plumber, and one of our very good friends is an electrician. Never ever considered it to be a second-rate career or a second choice, and they have done exceptionally well for themselves. My husband was second marriage. He was a single dad for a long time, supported his daughter just fine and all the bills. Like, to me, his trades training is no different than my nursing training. Like, we have equal earning potential, we have equal job security, we have equal benefits, equal pay, like all of the things that you would hope for in a career. And that's his as a trade.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's good to hear.
I would like to share. I am originally from Peru, from South America, and in Peru, for example, and actually in all South America, it's very valuable to have a university degree. Nobody pays attention to trades, and well, we look down actually for those kind of careers. But I have to say, if I had a kid here in Canada, I will tell him, go and do some trades, because you have lots of potential. It's really interesting. There's lots of jobs out there, and the pay is really good. So I think the vision that I have about trades have changed dramatically. From I don't know 20 years ago from now and now, it's completely different. And I have lots of respect. And you know what? I have a master's degree. If I if I could go back to when I finish high school, perhaps I will do some trade. Why not? You know?
I agree with you, Mila. I'm an immigrant myself. I was raised in Slovakia, Bratislava, which is why my name is so strange. And my parents, I went and did a master's in anthropology, so Master of Arts, and my parents were so proud of me. And then when I got out of my master's degree, I was like, okay, now what? I have this massive student loan debt. There's no anthropologist wanted positions out there. So I had to reinvent myself and become a career counselor. But that's something that my parents grew up with too, is very much focused on the academic, the university education was something that they valued above any kind of vocational or college education. So let's just take one more minute. Anybody else have something to add before I stop recording and wrap it up?
Okay, so I want to share just a very short one. So I'm from Korea. So in Korea, like the trade job does not make much money, to be honest. And it's a very quick job. And then I guess, but when I moved to Canada, I realized it is really expensive. Like for example, if you call someone like electrician or plumber, it's like $100, $200 easy, right? But I didn't not know it was secondary jobs or something like that, because I'm not originally from here, so I'm a little bit like, I don't know much about this culture that much, I guess. So I did not know trade job is not the same as university degree jobs or anything like that, because they make so much money and they're really needy job, I guess, because we do need them to fix the houses and everything. So I never thought that, but it's good to know. And then I was surprised they make $80 per hour. It's like so much more than I make. So I'm like, wow.
Well, that's not always the case. Just, I mean, everybody gets excited when I tell them that, but that's a fellow who's been doing it for years and runs his own business. So he's also got a number of expenses and things to take care of. Yes, Stephanie?
I think just secondary to that about trades, guys, like, so I have a bachelor's degree. I've got lots of educational stuff, and so do my parents. My husband is a smart dude, like, like physics, math, problem solving, troubleshooting. Like, there's something you think, oh, there's a clogged pipe, whatever, but he was working till like 7:30 last night because there was like I don't even know what this means, but a downhill leak from something that backed up somewhere, and where the leak showed up is not where the problem started. And it's just a different type of knowledge. And I think they're really smart. Sorry.
No, I think that's great. And that's exactly what the research and the industry is showing, is that the whole and the whole stigma is just so it's wrong. It's what we were raised with and what I was raised with. And it's just not right. Like I do wish I had more of a hands-on skill, because sometimes I go, what do I actually do? I talk to people, I don't know. So yeah, it'd be nice to have a concrete skill like that. So let's do one more comment and I'll let you guys go on this Saturday night on a long weekend.
Yeah, I just resonate a lot with, hating to just sit in front of my computer all day these days, and sometimes I just found that maybe some more handy job would be, more healthy.
Yeah, thank you.
That's something I resonate a lot.
Sanaa, did you want to say something? No. Oh, you're on mute.
No, I'm good. Thank you very much for this wonderful presentation. It's an eye-opener, and it's very nice to get all the information, like very concise and well done. Thank you very much.